Welcome to Top Rare Coins, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures of history. On this channel, we explore some of the most fascinating and valuable old coins from the United States. From rare pennies and silver dollars to historic coins worth thousands of dollars. Each piece has a story waiting to be uncovered. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or just curious about coins you might have lying around, this channel will guide you through the world of rare U.S. coins, helping you valuable finds and learn what makes them so special. Don't forget to subscribe and join us as we uncover the secrets behind America's rarest coins. Welcome back to Top Rare Coins, the place where history, rarity, and value come together in the most fascinating way. Today's video is something truly special, something that might even be sitting unnoticed in someone's collection or hidden in an old jar of coins. We are diving deep into the story, mystery, and incredible value of the 1967 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors around the world. Now, at first glance, a 1967 1-cent coin might not seem like anything extraordinary. It looks simple, common, and ordinary. But as every serious collector knows, sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. And this coin is a perfect example of that. Let's start with the basics. The 1967 Liberty 1 cent, also known as the Lincoln cent, features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, has been a staple in American coinage since 1909. On the reverse, you'll find the classic wheat ears design, symbolizing prosperity and unity. It's a design that many people recognize instantly, but very few understand its deeper significance and potential value. Now here's where things get interesting. Unlike many coins that clearly display a mint mark indicating where they were produced, the 1967 1 cent comes with no mint mark. This wasn't a mistake, it was actually intentional. During the mid-1960s, the United States Mint removed mint marks from coins in an effort to discourage hoarding and coin speculation. So, all 1967 cents were struck without mint marks, regardless of whether they were produced in Philadelphia or elsewhere. So you might be wondering, if all of them have no mint mark, what makes this one so valuable? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and potential minting errors. While millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny fraction have survived in exceptional condition. We're talking about coins that are perfectly preserved, with sharp details, original luster, and no signs of wear. These are known as high-grade or uncirculated coins, and they are incredibly difficult to find. Even more valuable are coins that exhibit rare minting errors. These errors can include double dies, off-center strikes, planchet defects, or unusual metal compositions. When a 1967 Liberty 1 cent combines a rare error with near-perfect condition, its value can skyrocket to unbelievable levels. And this brings us to the most exciting part: the market value. In recent years, certain rare examples of the 1967 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark have been valued at astonishing prices. High-grade specimens with unique characteristics have been reported to reach values starting from $1,200 and going much higher, depending on their rarity and condition. In some exceptional cases, collectors have speculated values climbing toward the million-dollar range for one-of-a-kind error coins, though such extreme valuations are incredibly rare and depend on authentication and demand. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. A simple 1-cent coin, something most people would overlook, could potentially be worth a life-changing amount of money. Now let's talk about how you can identify if you have one of these valuable coins. First, check the date carefully. Make sure it is indeed 1967. Next, confirm that there is no mint mark present under the date. This is normal for this year, but it's still an important detail. Then, examine the coin's condition. Look for sharp edges, clear details in Lincoln's hair, and strong lines in the wheat ears on the reverse. A coin that looks almost brand new, even after decades, could be significantly more valuable. After that, inspect the coin for errors. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope if possible. Look for doubling in the lettering, unusual shapes, or anything that seems off compared to a standard coin. Even a small anomaly can make a big difference in value. Another important factor is color. Collectors often categorize copper coins into red, red-brown, and brown. A bright red coin, which retains most of its original mint color, is generally the most valuable. These are extremely rare for older coins and highly sought after. Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in American history, the 1980 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark. A coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but has sparked incredible excitement among collectors and experts worldwide. Some reports even suggest its value could reach an astonishing $1,200 million under the right conditions. Yes, you heard that right, that a single penny worth a fortune. That let's uncover the truth behind this rare coin, how to identify it, and why collectors are willing to pay massive amounts for it. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1980 Lincoln penny, also known as the Liberty 1 cent, was minted in huge numbers across different U.S. mint facilities. Normally, these coins carry a mint mark indicating where they were produced, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco. However, coins minted in Philadelphia during that time did not carry a mint mark. So, technically, a 1980 penny without a mint mark is not unusual. But here's where things get interesting. Not all no mint mark pennies are the same. Some of these coins are believed to have rare minting errors, unusual compositions, or extremely high-grade preservation that makes them extraordinarily valuable. Now let's discuss why this specific coin has gained so much attention. Collectors have reported finding 1980 pennies with no mint mark that exhibit unusual features, such as sharper details, unique coloration, or rare die errors. In some cases, these coins appear to have been struck using special dies or under unique minting conditions. These rare variations can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. In the coin collecting world, rarity and condition are everything. A coin that is both rare and in near-perfect condition can skyrocket in value. And when a coin becomes the subject of hype, mystery, and limited availability, its perceived value can climb even higher. Now let's address the most exciting part, the value. There are claims circulating online that a 1980 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark could be worth up to $1,200 million. But what does that really mean? In reality, such extreme values are often based on speculation, private sales, or hypothetical auction scenarios. However, it is true that rare coins have sold for millions of dollars, especially when they are unique or historically significant. For example, coins with minting errors or one-of-a-kind features can attract wealthy collectors who are willing to pay almost any price. That is so. While not every 1980 penny is worth millions, certain rare versions could be worth thousands, or even more, depending on their characteristics. Let's talk about how you can identify a valuable 1980 penny. Start by checking the date carefully. It should clearly read 1980. Next, look under the date for a mint mark. If there is no mint mark, it means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. But don't stop there. Examine the coin closely under good lighting. Look for any unusual features such as double lettering or numbers off-center strikes, unusual shine or luster, sharp and detailed design elements, any visible errors or misprints. Also, check the condition of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale, with higher grades indicating better condition. A coin that looks almost brand new, with no scratches or wear, is considered to be in mint state. These coins are much more valuable than worn or damaged ones. Another important factor is authentication. If you believe you have a rare 1980 penny, it's crucial to have it examined by a professional coin grading service. Experts can determine whether your coin has any rare features and assign it an official grade. This process not only confirms the authenticity of your coin, but also significantly increases its market value. Now you might be wondering, where can you sell such a coin? Rare coins are typically sold through auctions, coin dealers, or online marketplaces. High-value coins often go to specialized auctions where serious collectors compete to own them. The more unique and verified your coin is, the higher the chances of attracting big buyers. Let's take a moment to understand why people are so fascinated by rare coins. Coins are more than just currency. They are pieces of history. Today's video is something truly exciting, especially for collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who has ever wondered if the coins in their pocket could be worth a fortune. We are talking about the Liberty 1 cent 1988 P with no mint mark, a coin that has stunned collectors and reached incredible market values starting from $1,200 and in rare cases climbing much higher depending on condition and error details. So stay with me till the end, because you might have this coin without even realizing it. Let's begin with a quick background. The 1988 Lincoln Cent is part of the long-running Lincoln Penny series, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln. These coins were minted in different locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia either carry a small P mint mark or, in earlier years, no mint mark at all. Now here is where things get interesting. In 1988, most Lincoln Cents produced in Philadelphia did not have a mint mark, which might sound normal. But certain rare varieties of the 1988 penny without a mint mark have unique characteristics that make them extremely valuable to collectors. These are not your everyday coins. These are error coins or rare die varieties that slipped through the minting process unnoticed. One of the most famous and valuable varieties is linked to what collectors call a transitional error. This happens when a coin is struck using a die intended for a different year or design variation. For the 1988 penny, there is a known variety where the reverse design differs slightly from what was standard for that year. Specifically, the design of the lettering and spacing on the reverse side can indicate that the coin was struck using a die from a different year. Collectors pay very close attention to details like the shape of the letters in United States of America, the positioning of the FG initials, and the overall sharpness of the strike. Now you might be wondering, why does this matter so much? Because rarity drives value. When a coin is produced in limited numbers due to an error, it becomes highly desirable. And when collectors compete to own one, the price can skyrocket. That is exactly what has happened with certain 1988 no mint mark pennies. Let's talk about value. A regular 1988 penny without any special features is only worth face value or slightly more in uncirculated condition. But if you have the rare variety with the correct error characteristics, the value can jump dramatically. Coins in average circulated condition can sell for hundreds of dollars. Coins in excellent uncirculated condition can reach over $1,200. And coins that are professionally graded in near-perfect condition by top grading services can go even higher, depending on demand and auction results. This is why coin grading is so important. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on their condition, strike quality, luster, and overall preservation. The better the grade, the higher the value. Now let's discuss how you can identify if you have one of these valuable coins. First, check the date carefully. It must be 1988. Second, confirm that there is no mint mark below the date. This indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. Third, examine the reverse side of the coin very closely. Look at the lettering, especially in United States of America. On rare varieties, the spacing and style of the letters may appear slightly different compared to standard coins. Also check the FG initials near the Lincoln Memorial. These initials represent the designer Frank Gasparro. On rare versions, the placement or style of these initials can help confirm authenticity. Using a magnifying glass or a coin microscope will make this process much easier. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about modern coins that has sparked curiosity among collectors and beginners alike. The 1995 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark. Could this ordinary-looking penny really be worth as much as $1.2 million? Let's uncover the truth, the hype, and the real value behind this fascinating coin. At first glance, the 1995 Lincoln penny looks like any other coin you might find in your pocket. It features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been part of American currency since 1909. On the reverse, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol familiar to millions. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these coins appear to have no mint mark, and that has caused a lot of confusion and excitement in the coin collecting world. Before we jump into value, let's understand what a mint mark actually is. A mint mark is a small letter on a coin that tells you where it was made. In the United States, coins are typically minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia often have no mint mark at all, especially for pennies minted before 2017. So, a 1995 penny with no mint mark is actually quite normal because it simply means it was produced in Philadelphia. Now here's the big question. If no mint mark is normal, why are people claiming that this coin is worth up to $1.2 million? The answer lies in misunderstanding, internet hype, and rare variations that are often confused with common coins. There is indeed a rare and valuable variety of the 1995 penny known as the 1995 double die obverse. This era coin shows clear doubling in the inscriptions on the front, especially in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. This doubling happens during the minting process when the die used to strike the coin has a slight misalignment. These coins are highly sought after by collectors and can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition. However, it is extremely important to understand that not every 1995 penny without a mint mark is rare or valuable. In fact, millions of these coins were produced, and most are only worth their face value, 1 cent. Even in uncirculated condition, a standard 1995 Philadelphia penny might only be worth a few cents to $1. So where does the million-dollar claim come from? In rare cases, coins can reach extremely high values if they have unique characteristics, such as being struck on the wrong planchet, having dramatic minting errors, or being preserved in perfect condition with a high grading score. But there is no verified sale of a regular 1995 penny with no mint mark reaching anywhere near $1.2 million. That being said, the excitement around coins like this is not entirely misplaced. Coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes everyday coins can turn out to be valuable due to hidden errors or rare variations. The key is knowing what to look for. If you have a 1995 penny and want to check if it might be valuable, start by examining it closely under good lighting. Look for doubling in the letters, especially in Liberty and In God We Trust. Check the condition of the coin. Coins with sharp details, no scratches, and original shine are always worth more. Using a magnifying glass or a coin microscope can help you spot small details that might not be visible to the naked eye. Another important step is getting your coin graded by a professional coin grading service. Organizations like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin and assign it a grade based on its condition. This not only confirms whether your coin is genuine, but also significantly impacts its market value. Now let's talk about realistic pricing. A normal circulated 1995 penny with no mint mark is worth exactly 1 cent. In uncirculated condition, it might fetch anywhere between 10 cents and $1. A genuine double die obverse 1995 penny can range from $20 to over $500 depending on its condition. Exceptionally high-grade examples could go even higher, but still nowhere near the million-dollar range. Today, we're diving into a coin that has created massive confusion, excitement, and even viral claims across the internet. The 1997 Lincoln 1-cent coin, especially the version people call the 1997D with no mint mark. Now, before we jump into the shocking claims and rumored values, let's uncover the truth behind this coin, because what you're about to learn might completely change how you look at pennies forever. First, let's understand the basics. The 1997 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. These coins were produced in massive quantities at 3 major mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Here's where things start getting interesting. Most people believe that if a coin has no mint mark, it must be rare. But in reality, that's not always true. In fact, for the year 1997, pennies produced at the Philadelphia Mint were intentionally made without a mint mark. That means if you find a 1997 penny with no mint mark, it is not automatically an error. It simply means it was made in Philadelphia. And here's the shocking part. Over 4.6 billion of these no mint mark pennies were produced. Yes, billions. So, if you're holding a regular 1997 penny without a mint mark, chances are extremely high that it is a common coin. Now let's talk about the 1997D with no mint mark mystery. This is where a lot of confusion spreads online. The D mint mark represents the Denver Mint. If a coin truly came from Denver, it should have a D stamp below the date. So when people say 1997D penny with no mint mark, what they usually mean is either they are mixing two different types of coins or they believe the mint mark is missing due to an error. Now, here's the truth: that a genuine missing mint mark error, especially from the Denver Mint, would be extremely rare. But for 1997 pennies, there are no widely recognized or confirmed major mint error varieties involving a missing D mint mark that would justify extreme values. That brings us to the biggest claim you may have seen. Some videos and posts suggest that this coin can be worth $1,200 million. That, let's be honest, That is simply not realistic. Even the rarest modern pennies do not reach anywhere near that value. In fact, verified auction records show that even extremely high-grade 1997 pennies have sold for a few $1,000s at most, not millions. Why do these exaggerated claims exist? Because rare coin content goes viral when people believe they might have hidden treasure in their pocket. But here's where things get truly exciting. Even though most 1997 pennies are common, there are still certain conditions that can make them valuable. Let's break it down. Condition is everything. Coins that are uncirculated, meaning they have never been used in daily transactions, are far more valuable than worn coins. Collectors use a grading system, and the highest grades, like MS67 or MS69, can dramatically increase a coin's value. For example, a 1997 penny in near-perfect condition has been known to sell for thousands of dollars at auction. But that level of perfection is extremely rare. Next factor, color. Copper coins like pennies are graded based on their color: red, red-brown, or brown. The bright red coins, which still retain their original mint luster, are the most valuable. A dull brown coin, even if old, is usually worth very little. Now let's talk about errors. This is where real money can be made. Collectors love coins with unique mistakes. Things like double strikes, off-center designs, die cracks, or unusual markings. If a 1997 penny has a genuine Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and surprising stories in the world of coin collecting. The 2012 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark. A coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but could potentially be worth up to $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. This is not just a coin. This is a hidden treasure. Let's explore what makes this coin so special, why collectors are willing to pay massive amounts for it, and how you might be able to identify one yourself. First, let's talk about the basics. The Liberty 1 cent is part of the long history of American pennies, often associated with the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln. In 2012, millions of 1-cent coins were produced across different U.S. mints. Typically, these coins carry a small letter indicating where they were made. For example, a D stands for Denver, and an S stands for San Francisco. But here's where things get interesting. Some 2012 1-cent coins appear without any mint mark at all. At first, this might not seem like a big deal. After all, Philadelphia minted coins often do not carry a mint mark. However, what makes this particular coin incredibly rare is not just the missing mint mark. It's the possibility of a minting error, unusual strike characteristics, and extremely limited known examples that set it apart. Collectors and experts believe that certain no-mint mark 2012 pennies may have been struck under unusual conditions or could represent rare die varieties. These small differences can turn a common coin into a collector's dream. Now, let's talk about the value. Most 2012 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. But a rare no-mint mark version, especially if it shows unique characteristics such as perfect condition, unusual luster, or minting anomalies, can be valued at thousands, and in extremely rare cases, even up to $1.2 million. Why would someone pay that much for a penny? The answer lies in rarity, demand, and condition. In the world of coin collecting, also known as numismatics, rarity is everything. If only a handful of these coins exist, their value increases dramatically. Add to that the condition of the coin, what collectors call grade, and the price can skyrocket. A coin that is in mint state condition, meaning it has no scratches, no wear, and looks almost exactly as it did when it was first produced, is far more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated. Now imagine a rare error coin in near-perfect condition. That's the kind of coin collectors dream about. Another important factor is authentication. If you believe you have a 2012 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark that could be valuable, the first step is to have it professionally evaluated. Reputable grading companies can verify whether your coin is genuine and assign it a grade. This process not only confirms authenticity, but also significantly increases buyer confidence if you decide to sell. Let's move on to how you can identify this coin. Start by examining the front of the coin, also known as the obverse. You should see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Look closely near the date, 2012. Under normal circumstances, you would expect to see a mint mark below the date. If there is no mint mark, that's your first clue. Next, inspect the coin's surface. Are there any unusual features? Look for differences in texture, shine, or alignment. Some rare coins may have double strikes, off-center designs, or other minting errors that increase their value. Also, check the reverse side of the coin. In 2012, the reverse design typically features the Union Shield. Make sure the details are sharp and clear. High-quality detail can indicate a better grade, which means higher value. Now, let's talk about the story behind why such coins exist. Minting errors can happen for a variety of reasons. It could be due to a malfunction in the machinery, human oversight, or issues with the dies used to strike the coins. While most errors are caught and corrected quickly, a few can slip into circulation, and those few coins can become incredibly valuable over time. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth a fortune. But before you get too excited, it's important to stay realistic. Not every 2012 penny without a mint mark is worth millions. In fact, most are still very common. The high-value coins are extremely rare and often have additional unique features that set them apart. And that's why careful inspection and professional verification are essential. Now, let's talk about what you should do if you think you found one. First, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can actually reduce its value significantly. Collectors prefer coins in their original condition, even if they appear slightly dirty. Second, store it properly. Use a coin holder or protective case to prevent damage. Avoid touching the surface directly, as oils from your fingers can affect the coin's condition.